Good afternoon to everyone. So first, the honor is actually mine, and a big thank you, first of all, to everyone all over the world, not only Barcelona, especially Barcelona, but all over the world that has joined us for this session. So a big welcome to this new topic. It's actually new, but I hope it's new for you because I have so many fascinating things to share with you, and I hope we can go through this journey together. So I'm Vanessa Mendes. I'm at the moment in Switzerland. Actually, I'm at my office where I'm a lecturer at the Swiss Hotel Management School. Also at the same time, like you, I'm a student, or like most of you, I guess, I am a student completing a PhD in education sciences, and the topic actually is in well-being, and that's where actually all this information and interest comes from. Okay. Any case, I was not teaching during all my career. Actually, my main experience is in hotels, and especially mainly in events. I've worked in hotels in Portugal, Spain, also Dubai, even Greece. And I hope everyone is full of curiosity to learn about this great topic that is neuroleadership. So let's start first with a quick warm-up. So what do you think that you'll be learning today? And this is a rhetorical question, don't worry. I will start, I'll start by telling you that the aim of this session is actually to explain what neuroleadership is and how leaders can benefit from applying this brain-minded approach to leading and influencing people. And to make sure that we will achieve this, I have prepared a set of 5 objectives that we'll go through within the next hour. But don't worry too much about all the text that you can see in the slide, because we'll go one by one as we advance in the presentation, okay? So for now, I would prefer you to focus in the keywords of today. And these are leadership, neuroscience, engagement, resilience, and meditation. In this session, we'll go through 5 objectives. And the first objective for today is contextualize the need for changing the leadership style observed in the hospitality industry. Neuroleadership opened my eyes to a new way of leading people. Understanding how our brains work and how to use that knowledge to lead better is so different from anything I've known before. So today, I will do my best to show you how understanding some of the key drivers of the human brain and being able to apply neuroscience latest findings to our behavior and management style can have a great impact on the way we lead and influence people. So, improved engagement, higher performance, well-being, these are just some of the benefits for managers that aim to increase their effectiveness and to be part of the 21st Century Leaders League. So let's have a quick look at some facts. According to Harvard Business Review, 1/4 of all employees in the world see their jobs as the #1 stressor in their lives. And the World Health Organization has recently described stress as the global health epidemic of the 21st century. From a neurological perspective, the hospitality industry workplace have become an extremely threatening environment to work in. And this is a result of things such as the autocratic leadership from previous generations of managers, increased demands in terms of working hours, low salaries and other financial incentives, difficulty to find a work versus to have a personal life balance, a constant need to adapt to different contexts and circumstances. Not only, even information overload, these are a little bit more general, ineffective communication, the constant change of goals and objectives, and even the fear of punishment if a mistake is made. This is just to mention a few. So in this environment, people are recurrently in neurological fear states of stress and anxiety. I hope you recognize this. That consequently, of course, results in underperformance. And according to the Strategic Leadership Institute, the role of leaders has changed irrevocably from the old command and control autocrats to that kind of facilitators who are able to motivate, guide, support, and engage people while never losing sight of the vision or end goal. The hospitality industry nowadays needs leaders who practice effective and effective leadership, a type of leadership that triggers engagement, creativity, and commitment, and also that has proven to result in increased employee happiness and improvement of overall results. So to illustrate this point, I would like to share with you a Gallup, some recent findings from a Gallup study. And this study found out that engaged employees lead to 10% increase in customer ratings, 21% higher productivity, and 22% greater profitability. The same study also showed us that companies with engaged employees achieve 25% less turnover, which we know as a fact to be one of the biggest problems in the hospitality business. And now I ask you, how are these results connected with NeuroLeadership practices? And how can these practices empower managers in their capacities for example, communicate more effectively, practice effective decision-making and problem solving, boost creative thinking, coping with constant disruption, manage personal stress, and dealing with constant change and adversity, But not only, also in improving individual and organizational performance, facilitating managing organizational change, develop brain-engaging workplace cultures, build and leading high-performance teams, fostering employee engagement and motivating, and the list is endless. Actually, also facilitate constructive collaboration, improve workplace diversity leadership skills, deal with conflict more effectively, and even create sustainable and resilient performance cultures. Long list. It is important to recognize that the new normal, especially we're talking about after COVID-19, but not only, also the constant overload of information, increasing workplace pressures, and, well, just to mention a few, these are indeed challenging the human cognitive capacity. And the future leaders need to take action to fuel and protect the human brain, not only their own brains, but also their followers' brains. The 21st century leaders need to be able to motivate, guide, support, and engage their teams. And this is not possible without a better understanding of neurons, social behavior, and even well-being. Which leads us to the second objective of today, which is to investigate the latest findings in neuroscience related to the physical and social environment, and even how stress affects the brain. So I've mentioned before that some of the challenges of the post-pandemic, they changed the work environment. But apart from these challenges, we also need to deal with all our internal challenges. And here I'm talking about our own mind challenges and also even our body challenges. And one of the human body's main constraints is our own brain internal capacity and its power to deal with overloads of information. And science, once again, has already revealed so many things to us on this matter. So due to recent findings, we currently know that our neuroplastic brains are very adaptable and able to learn new skills, nothing new. But we also know that, unfortunately, the human brain has not changed much since caveman times. And this means that our caveman brains are now struggling to cope with the extreme anxieties of constant change, neuro overloads, and excessive stress. This means that after 50,000 years of evolution, men and women's first priority still is to be alive. And thanks to neuroscience, we now understand that our brains are constantly scanning what is the physical environment. And here we can consider our workplace, such as it can be a hotel or a restaurant. And at the same time, they are constantly scanning the social environment. And this means how people behave toward us. So to secure survival, Our brains constantly scan the environment for anything that might be perceived as a threat or a reward. So when the human brain scans the environment and the reward is detected, it actually activates a neural process that pushes us towards that reward. In this case, it can be food or money or any kind of positive compensation. And being in this reward state allows our reflective system to function optimally. For example, by showing improved creativity, by making better judgments, by enhancing neural memory, by boosting effective decision-making, or by improving communication. On the other hand, when a threat is detected, what we call our automatic system is on. This means that the brain immediately allocates few resources to the parts of the brain where reflective thought takes place. And this causes a release of hormones, which allows us to be in what is called the fight or flight mode for survival. And actually, this defense mechanism is what has allowed humankind to survive throughout time, and therefore is seen as an extremely positive human tool. However, constantly being in a survival mode just becomes a real threat when one's performance and career. Contrastingly, identifying the rewards in the workplace generates a neural response that drives us to put effort and commitment towards the reward. So in other words, put us into an engagement mode. And as you can see in the slide, there are three possible stages related to employee engagement. So we have the engaged employees, those who are passionate and connected to their work. We also have the non-engaged ones. These ones they deliver, but at a minimal effort. And we also have the disengaged employees. And these are the ones that are just mentally checked out. So in the engagement mode, we are able to cognitively perform at our best and at many levels, such as, for example, solving problems, communicating effectively, understanding other people's intentions, dealing with adversity, planning ahead, be more creative, have improved judgment, present and enhance memory, and be more effective at decision-making. Contrastingly, when a threat is detected, all these abilities that I've mentioned, they are compromised because the brain anxiously tries to work its way out of the perceived threat. So we have the mode disengagement on. Further research shows us that the same automated neural responses, which are activated when we face a physical threat, are similarly activated in social situations. So not only the brain is constantly scanning for the physical environment, but also for the social environment. And this is whenever we are interacting with other people. Neuroscience is providing us with solid evidence of what happens in the human brain as we interact with each other. And for leaders, I believe the consequences are really profound because basically the human brain is a social organ that is constantly reacting to social situations in exactly the same way it is reacting to physical ones. This also means that the brain perceives the workplace as a social environment where it's constantly assessing social interaction. And this means threats or rewards. More than that, is revealing to us that one of the greatest leadership skills to develop nowadays is the ability to facilitate engagement in the workplace. And let's step back a little bit to deeply understand how stress affects the brain and how all this is connected with the way that we actually lead and influence people around us. According to the Harvard Business Review, the current and rising levels of stress in the workplace should be cause for concern, as there is a direct and adverse relationship between negative stress, wellness, and productivity. To illustrate this, I would like to show you a very short video.
Stress is a normal part of life, and it's not always bad. In the right amount, it can motivate you to get things done. but stress becomes harmful if it's overwhelming or long-term. When you're stressed, the fear center in the brain, called the amygdala, takes over. The brain sends out a distress call, which results in the adrenal glands located above the kidneys, releasing hormones that speed up your heartbeat and breathing and push more blood to your muscles. Once the threat passes, your stress response winds down. For our prehistoric ancestors being chased by wild animals, this fight or flight response could be very useful, but in the modern world, it's a problem when the perceived threat never goes away. When the brain is under constant stress, it can change in ways that make you even more vulnerable to stress. A constant flood of stress hormones can also do damage by weakening your immune system, leaving you more prone to infections. It may trigger inflammation that puts you at greater risk for conditions like heart disease and diabetes. How to cope with stress can help minimize these effects. Try practicing relaxation techniques like meditation, yoga, or deep breathing. Do at least 30 minutes of moderately intense exercise like brisk walking on most days, which can calm your body and mind. Get at least 7 hours of sleep. Seek support from friends and loved ones, and if necessary, talk to a mental health professional. The better you're able to handle stress, the less likely that life's bumps will knock you off track.
So we have now broadly seen how from this neurological perspective, most of the hospitality workplace are indeed extremely threatening environments, unfortunately. And achieving optimum performance is becoming a real challenge. And I would like you to imagine the following situation. So last Easter, I went on vacation with my family and we went to this beautiful hotel by Blue Lake here in Switzerland. And while we were doing the check-in, this nice young lady, suddenly she was interrupted by another, I believe, older colleague, demanding to know why the reception logbook was not in its regular place. So the young receptionist just blushed, gave a vague reply. I don't even know what she said, and then she went along to complete the check-in with us. Needless to say, of course, from that point on, our service was a disaster. So she was showing anxiety, she was making mistakes. And now I have a few questions for you. How many of you have witnessed a similar, perhaps embarrassing situation, this being in a hotel or in a restaurant? Now, how many of you were actually the ones involved in the situation? And now the final question. Which one of these two that you can see on the screen was you? So this simply shows that the importance of the way we manage first our own stress, and only then the way we lead and influence people that are around us. So much of what worked in the past is now contributing to the creation of what we call fear cultures. It's changing, but still there. But the fact that we understand that, and if we add it with the understanding of the basics of how our brain actually works, this gives the leaders the opportunity to do things differently. And the aim is actually to create engaging environments where people can thrive and perform at their optimal best. With all the information that we have so far, I believe that we are finally ready to move on to the conceptualization of what is the term NeuroLeadership. So we got so far that NeuroLeadership on a first level help us to better understand the brain, how we make use of our own engagement. So to be in what we call the thrival mode. Not only because at the second level, it helps us on how to disseminate these, what we call the brain engaged practices within the people we work with. It doesn't matter if we are just members of the team at a lower level, or if we are the managers. There's always this interaction, is always important.